Fathomers. Last week we scratched the surface of miraculous hot takes on Tumblr, so now it's time for my favorite miraculous fandom space ever. Just kidding, the miraculous subreddit is a fucking nightmare. Like, if you think MLB Twitter is bad, wait until you see this circus. From bitchy ass mods who remove your posts because you didn't breathe correctly while letting actual stupid ass shit on there, to nitpicking spoiler tagged posts like, oh, why didn't you tag the screenshot from an episode that came out 2 fucking years ago as a spoiler? Oh, let us remove this because it's quote unquote low quality, and let other motherfuckers post 2 little pixels on here and it's all good. And then you collect removed posts like Pokemon and they end up banning you unfairly because they're pussies. Don't piss me off. That's pretty much my experience on there. I've talked about how much I despise this subreddit, you all already know lmfaoo. And you might be like, Felix can't fathom, our top fathomer. Why are you subjecting yourself to the subreddit if it pisses you off that bad? Because at this point it's just funnier than anything else, and I wanna show you all how stupid people on there actually are. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. Can't go 2 seconds without seeing a stupid ass take. Let's get into it. Hot take, but in my opinion Adrian is one of the worst written characters in the entire show. Well, sorta kinda. We definitely have worse, but he's slowly getting up there. What a great choice to leave him out of learning anything regarding himself and his own family, but put the girlfriend in that spot instead. Wow, so fair. Unpopular season 5 finale take. Gabriel wasn't redeemed. Honestly, it genuinely confuses me how people can look at what happened in season 5 and the finale and seriously say he was redeemed. He never acknowledged what he did was wrong, and if anything, he doubled down in his belief that he was in the right. Marinette basically just gave him a single chance to finally do right by Adrian and give up on his quest. But he didn't. He basically just committed suicide so he could avoid the responsibility of his own actions. And he attacked her, took the miraculous from her and made his wish. He then also proceeded to basically emotionally blackmail her to not tell anyone. Guys, it's my lucky day, I can't believe it. I just wrote take in the search bar on the subreddit and I'm seeing a good one for once. Finally, someone who understands Gabriel's dumbass was anything but redeemed. Speaking of Marinette's decision, I also have some thoughts about that. I actually don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be, and I think there's a few more mitigating factors that I think more people should be keeping in mind. 1. The butterfly miraculous's current status is incredibly precarious, and at this point, they don't know what happened to it, or if it's potentially in the hands of someone worse. We the audience know that it's the hands of everyone's favorite spawn of Satan, but they don't. Okay, and 2. Adrian being a Senti. Marinette now knows that Adrian is a Senti monster, and as a result, she now has to be extra mindful to make sure he cannot be akumatized. If the wrong item gets infected, it can very well result in him getting killed, and she absolutely cannot risk that. Again, and what does this have to do with her decision to lie on that terrorist's name? Also, these kinds of takes bother me because does everyone think Adrian is a little porcelain doll who can't do shit? This was also their shitty excuse for him to not find out about Chat Blank, and it pisses me off because he is not as weak as the show makes him seem. Hello? 3. Adrian's safety. If people knew Gabriel was Monarch, this point in particular boggles my mind that more people aren't thinking more about. Guys, really think about this. How do you think the city would treat the child of the person who had terrorized the city for God knows how long? Best case scenario, Adrian would be a social pariah, because of what his dad did. Worst case scenario, he would actually have basically a huge target on his back. Well, in a dystopian world where people blame the child for the father being a piece of shit, I would agree with no person in their right mind would attack a little child for their father's crimes. This is so dumb. Like everyone knows, Gabriel is closed off in his house 24/7 and there is so much proof of his abuse and exploitation of his son. How could anyone quote unquote treat him differently? A man puts at rings with the AI model of their 14-year-old that you can dress and undress, and that doesn't ring alarms in people's heads that his son is also his victim. Let's use our brain a bit. As for the subject of Chat Noir not being there, I think more people are forgetting that in previous episodes like Chat Blank and Ephemeral made it pretty clear that Chat being there would have been a bad idea. Every single time Gabriel found out about his son being Chat Noir, he immediately took advantage of it. He instantly used that info to akumatize him and won the fight with that knowledge. Yes, and it was stupid and forced every single time. They could have pinned this man the fuck down like they did in Evolution and Destruction and actually take all his damn rings this time, which they failed to do in those episodes because they they were too busy looking at him on the ground. Because they were the first and third episodes of the season, they literally have no excuse to exclude him from his family matters. Like, damn, okay, put Ladybug in there too if you need her to be there that bad, but do you really have to act like she's the Cindy kid whose creation was the reason the creator/mom died? And the actual Cindy kid is in solitary confinement. Gabriel can take advantage of whatever the fuck he wants, and Ladybug can just pull out Natalie's tablet and boom, Gabriel breaks down. No more ephemerals or chat blancs. It's just Ladybug, Chat Noir and his shitty ass father, and Adrian takes all his bottled up anger out on that flop. He gets his justice and he writes his own story, living his truth and not a lie that someone fed him. But apparently he's a weak little Cincy baby who can't do shit according to some of you. They don't know where the butterfly miraculous is. He could get akumatized. We really don't care. Didn't they reintroduce those anti-akumatization charms in season 5 and say they actually work because we were calling them useless? Well, what the fuck are those charms for then? Do they only work when it's convenient for the plot? Well, they don't work if you haven't been akumatized before. He doesn't have one. She can literally make whatever she wants, right? Create anti-akumatization charms for everyone regardless of if they've been akumatized before or not. Someone genuinely explained this weakling who can't handle shit perception of Adrian to me without the excuse of those shitty what if memory loss episodes so I can take you seriously. Like, no matter how you go about it, they have no excuse to hide anything from Adrian lmfaoo. I've actually seen some fanfics where the world finds out Gabriel is monarch or whatever and Adrian is a target for some reason and everyone assumes he was in on it, but realistically, I would give the canon Miraculous Universe citizens the benefit of the doubt and say I don't think they are brain dead enough to find out a terrorist's identity and immediately go attacking the child. You had me in the first part until you said the decision to lie about Gabriel wasn't that bad and the reasoning that I debunked. My issues with S5 in general are two things. 1. I understand why it wasn't publicized that Gabriel Agreste was monarch, but Ladybug still should have told Chat Noir this information. They both spent nearly a year of their lives fighting him together. He had the right to know. I know she fulfilled Gabriel's wish that Adrian would never know this, but she has no idea that Adrian is Chat Noir. So this is just another situation where Ladybug is once again keeping things from Chat Noir. Well, yes, I have no idea how she'll go about this and who she'll tell the truth to, but if Ella knows about the wish like we saw in one of those final scenes where she was redesigning the Miraculous, and Chat Noir, your longest lasting partner, doesn't know a broken Baru count your days, baby. 2. Gabriel being irredeemable was basically set in stone in evolution. He had the choice to go back in time and stop himself from giving Emily the Peacock Miraculous. Instead he chooses his hatred and revenge on Ladybug and Chat Noir and decides to fight to win, instead of fixing his original mistake. Had he listened to Natalie, he would have saved both her and Emily. Season 1 to 3 Gabriel would have jumped at the chance to take back his mistake without harming anybody. So this shows how far from sane he has fallen. I don't think the finale can redeem him, when he has a chance to fix all of his mistakes and chose not to take it. Can we talk about how everyone misspells Emily and Adrian's names? Help, they are spelled wrong in most of these posts, but anyways, this is so real actually. Earlier seasons Gabriel, who wasn't this deep in his addiction and insanity, would not be getting himself cataclysmed that easily or went to the lengths that season 5 Gabriel did. Like, sure, forcing your kid to be a child model is traumatizing for them and exploitive, but an avatar that you sell and anyone can get their hands on to customize, in underwear? That's just crazy. The more insane Gabriel gets with supervillain schemes, the worse of a person and father he becomes too. That man is irredeemable. We been new. Miraculous hot take 2. As someone who has actually gone through being stalked, I don't personally feel comfortable labeling Marinette as a stalker. I feel a lot of people take a surface level approach and talking about this. But let me point this out. Stalking is not just how I follow someone, it's persistently harassing someone with unwanted attention. The key point is unwanted. Adrian at no point feels uncomfortable around Marinette. Well, no, he is seen to be visibly uncomfortable in some cases. Another reason I don't feel comfortable calling her stalker also comes down to the fact that I'm pretty sure that if Adrian wasn't comfortable, she would back off. Case in point, Puppeteer 2, where she was incredibly apologetic after the statue incident, and he was uncomfortable when she did that, despite the show reckoning his uncomfortable reaction as surprised and flustered in a "I like you romantically now" way. Ask for the point about the photos that she has, they're all pretty clearly established, just being photos from magazines, or photos from photo shoots that he willingly participated in, and asked for the schedule. It's established that Marinette has all her friends' schedules in addition to her own, not to mention, it's fairly consistent schedule. Okay, so people definitely like to use words they don't really know the meaning of and run with it. We've seen several cases of that in the fandom. If there's one thing the fandom does is misuse words like stalker and redemption. Is Marinette an actual stalker? Well, no, just an obsessive kinda embarrassing 14-year-old who tends to be creepy with her crush sometimes. She's just weird and quirky like that, that's all there is to it. Or I hoped that's all there is to it, but after you cut enough of the stalker allegations and gave her a derision as a way to fight the stalker allegations, except that made them worse because now people think it's okay to be a stalker if something traumatic happened to you. Why do people in this fandom always think backstories are meant to excuse bad things someone does in the future? Do you all know how backstories work? But as we saw, that whole episode is retconned down to every single second of it, so I don't really take it that seriously. Like we have information from earlier seasons that contradicts everything from the prank to Sakuline being an industry plant that never existed before. So, derision or no derision, she's just an embarrassing 14-year-old. Honestly, the way they've written her to just think about this little boy 90% of the time is very icky to me and low-key misogynistic, because if you take her love for Adrian away, she's not left with a lot as her Marinette self. And it's crazy because she's literally the main character. Like, there are so many interesting things about her that have been left to rot, and most of her life as Marinette is just loving Adrian. But what can you expect when a white man in his 50s is writing a Asian teenage girl? Anyways, people act like she is sketch from Skins or some shit, like she's harmless for the most part. As someone who has also experienced a stalker before, it's weird as fuck when people boil her down to being a stalker. Like, is she obsessive? Yes. As a grown man writing a teenage girl, could he have toned it down, especially in the first few seasons? Well, yes. But a stalker? No babes. I think it would be better if only Felix was Cindy Monster. It would make him unique and could lead to a better backstory and motivation. Well, no, I love Cindy cousin Zonkst. Half of the comments under this are people saying hot take Adrian being a Cindy is stupid. Yeah, all are not serious. Calling that a hot take is crazy. Literally most of this stupid ass subreddit thinks this Master Fu was inexperienced and an idiot to give the miraculous to children. If he picked adult Hawk, Moth wouldn't had even gotten the chance to fix the peacock. So true. But instead he chose to continue the sick cycle of giving a huge responsibility and deadly weapons to little kids who don't know 1 + 1 = 2. The best parts of Miraculous are the filler and the supervillains. The show is usually better when not progressing the plot than when it does. Well, this is definitely a take. Filler is the best part is crazy. Damn, ya all live like this. You must love Penal Team. Some of you scare me, to be honest. Felix wasn't some mastermind, he just got lucky. Well, yes, that's literally what his name means. He used to be unlucky as fuck his whole life, and now he's low-key lucky with the way things progressed in his favor. He just goes with the flow and decides on the way. And he ate all these flops up. Leela is realistic, just exaggerated for the comical effect. Real life people don't have plot armor, baby. I hate that PPL other than Adrian and Marinette get to keep their miraculous. I hope Marinette's classmates fuck up so badly that they're asked to return their miraculous. Girl, me too. But you already know Marinette is not asking for any of them back, lmfaoo. Like, I wonder what the last straw for her would be. If Kim and Sabrina participating in attempting to drown her in that pool didn't do it for her, what will? I think Guamies Can't Fall in Love is just Chicky in denial about her feelings for Plag. Oh shit, 5th grade is enraged. Guamies Can't Fall in Love. Me when I'm delusional. I think people shouldn't rage and seethe if someone ships 2 characters with incompatible canonical, if we can even call it that, sexualities. Get over yourself. Let people ship Marigami. Let people ship Jewel Adrian. Well, yes. I think it would have benefited from a more mature tone / messaging / target audience. Well, yes. 5 seasons and Italy squat lore is a big disappointment. Well, yes. I don't like how all the miraculous holders are basically just from Marinette's class. Well, yes. I saw someone on Twitter rage that someone said that it was a stupid idea to give them out to these people permanently, and that they explain why she did this, to not have them all in one place and have it be easier to take them all again. Except this is literally the issue with the class having the miraculouses. They are all in the same place, lmfaoo. Like they built a whole new school just so they can still be in the same place. And since Leela is the new villain and these very same people have been very easily manipulated, they can be just as easily manipulated again. Like trust me ain't nobody batting an eye if Leela comes up to them with a blonde wig and takes their miraculous. I think Monster of the Week formula is a bad idea. Better to do story arcs. Well yes, as long as you complete those arcs and don't cut them in half and pretend you're starting over after 5 seasons. The side characters are pretty unfleshed out. We know this. I would have scrapped the miraculous ladybug ability, or altered it so that only damage done by the Akuma villain is reversed. For example, all of Reflecta's damage is undone, but if Hawkmoth stabbed someone, they stay dead. lmfaoo, the example is crazy. Well yes, honestly I would like if anyone who died in the Akuma battle in general couldn't be brought back just for the drama. Ya all can't just rely on her miraculous ladybug to be careless during Akuma battles. Go in quarantine or something. Maricat is overrated. Adrian has known Marinette is pounds for a while and is playing dumb. Okay, 2017 Aztec. After Felix's introduction is when everything started going downhill. Ergo Felix is responsible for the bad parts of seasons 4 and 5. One of the most insufferable people on the sub said this, by the way. After your introduction is when everything started going downhill. Bitch, not too much on Felix, let's not act like he didn't eat all your faves up. Astrayuk doesn't deserve the hate, because without him this show probably wouldn't exist. lmfaoo, crazy Aztec. Astrayuk decriers will never not be amusing to me. He doesn't get enough hate actually. Gabriel is a victim and not very evil considering his goals. I said it before, it doesn't excuse his abusive behavior towards his son and others or his villain ex, but it's understandable why he is like this. My mouth dropped, but then I saw this is from 200 days ago. You do the math. That's less than a year. Yeah, I know this is crazy. His goals being not respecting his wife's dying wishes? Okay, Gabriel is a victim of who exactly? Adrienne shouldn't have been in game because they have more chemistry with everyone except each other. Well yes, Lilynette forever. Also, Chloe becoming a villain wasn't a bad twist. Wasn't a bad twist until they made her a 14-year-old dictator. Like, you all need to learn where to draw the line with these kids you're writing. I think this applies more to the community, but people overly hate Astrayuk, when the writing isn't as bad as people make it out to be. I have my own gripes with it, but nobody is perfect. He's also just a guy trying to make it in a very difficult industry. Especially when the show that's bringing the company the most money keeps getting extended. Girl, nobody is shitting on Astrayuk for his writing as much as they shit on him for his track record of being a shitty person, putting down other people's works, fanfiction and other people's in the industry, excusing racism, sexualizing his characters, etc. And the fact that he hasn't lost his job with this track record says everything you need to know. He's fine, don't even worry about it. As long as the block button exists, he's good. Ladybug should have gotten the butterfly miraculous at the end of the season, and Leela should have something more unique to her for the antagonist of the second saga. This is the only thing they know how to make their villains do, sadly, so that's what we're getting. More abstract hot take. Felix explanation story to Marinette with Kagami was not very clear on WHO is Cindy and WHOI isn't. I tried focusing on his words. I watched carefully, but it still felt vague. Adrian can be a Cinti, fine. Felix for sure must be one, but at the same time it still feels loosely secure about Adrian as a Cinti even with outside hints of Gabriel's hold on Adrian. Motherfuckers be like, I paid attention, the planned Adrian is not a Cinti. Did you look at the background with the peacock feathers glaring at you behind Emily's pregnant belly? Don't piss me off yet, all this is so tired. It's 2024 and people are still saying Adrian is not a confirmed Cinti. Did everyone just purposely block out the background? I don't mind Adrian being a Cinti monster because he is not that important. Him being a Cinti monster kinda make him treated like an object as gift to Marinette.
Hey, Martin Luther King, shout out to Big Bro. If it wasn't for Big Bro, I wouldn't be rapping though. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be here rapping this shit, trapping this shit, stealing shit for my family and shit. Can't forget about Malcolm and Rosa Parks. I feel like we made it out the
all make me wanna jump from the roof, my god. The recent season has been talked more about the LGBTQ+ community around some characters like inclusion and adoration. I find it a little too much to represent it. 2 episodes being too many for you is insane. Yes, representation of them is good, but they should also consider the diverse with normal sexual orientations as well.
in Rosa Parks. I feel like we made it out the park, but it don't matter because of Martin Luther King.
Oh, normal you say. Of course there's casual homophobia in the subreddit lmfaoo. Kristen Ladybug daughter, I love my mother Ladybug, she has stronger muscles. So true. Miraculous YouTubers are even worse than the show. They only ever shit on Marinette without ever asking or explaining why she's written the way she is. It's a little thing called the clearly male writers are misogynistic and never realize that the same can be applied to Chat and Gabriel, who are so much worse than her because the show actually justifies their bad shit and act like Marinette is the only problem on the show. Ooh, catch it, Cyrus the Great. I love when he gets lashings. Anyways, I just talked about how misogynistic Marinette's writing tends to be. Clock it, anyone who calls her Mary Sue has no clue what it means and just thinks that makes them sound cool when they say it. Like, no, it's just embarrassing because you're acting like you know what you're talking about and then you criticize her for her flaws when you just called her a Mary Sue. No flaws, but you're criticizing her for her endless amount of flaws? Make it make sense. Feligami is the worst goddamn ship idea in the history of this show. Second only to the oh god no ships. Not even getting into how bad Felix is and how he never redeemed himself / is probably lying about everything like he usually does. Kagami is in no state of mind to be able to have a healthy relationship. Adragami proved that. She doesn't need a relationship. She needs therapy along with the title duo. And Amelie is just as bad of a parent as Andre, if not worse by actively enabling and explicitly siding with her evil son.
Hey, Martin Luther King, shout out to Big Bro. If it wasn't for Big Bro, I wouldn't be rapping though. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be here rapping this shit, trapping this shit, stealing shit for my family and shit. Can't forget about Malcolm X and Rosa Parks. I feel like we made it out the park, but it don't matter because of Martin Luther King.
I'll give you 5 seconds to guess who wrote this. If you guess the most insufferable person on the entire sub, you're correct. There's this one motherfucker who is convinced that Felix lied about having an abusive father and refuses to accept it for some stupid ass reason. Delusional and stupid. Nice rage bait, 2 out of 10. This having 12 upvotes is insane. Another day on the subreddit where MFs successfully pissed me off. Like and subscribe for more MLB subreddit public humiliation videos.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry! What have I done? I'm so sorry!
I can't feel my kid.
Oh crap! The tigers seem like to be, guys. I have bad nerves. I'm so sorry. Feel better, okay?